Many of us have filled out an online form at some point in our lives. The chances are very high that that form was developed using Google. Google has a tool called Google Forms, which is very useful even in our research for creating data collection instruments such as questionnaires, especially if you're going to have a self-administered questionnaire. Google Forms is a very important tool. However, if you're a lecturer like I am, Google Forms can also be used to create quizzes, which you can then share with your students and have them answer them. You can also use Google Forms to collect feedback from your audience, so for evaluation purposes as well. So in this video, we're going to look at how to set up a Google form for research purposes. Now, to go to Google Forms, you type in forms.google.com. You'll probably land on this page. Yours might look a little different if you haven't developed any forms before. Mine are many because I've used this before. But don't worry, you have different templates as we can see. You have the blank, course evaluation, you have event, registration, contact information, and RSVP. And you can choose, to find many others. Personal, find a time, they're all there. So what we're interested in this time is a blank form. So we're going to start a new form. We're going to start from scratch. So I click on blank form. As you can see, the form is untitled. So let me give it a title to reflect the kind of research that I'm carrying out. I'll double click to select that text and then say okay. So assuming that's the title of my research, so I'll make this form that. Or I can say, if it's a questionnaire, let me just say questionnaire on Ugandan children's media habits. So you can choose to describe the questionnaire or the form. So basically in this area, you're talking about what the form is about, and it's research. Okay, so you can say so much more, include withdraw anytime, and so on and so on, but just basically describe the form. Now you start to create to set up the form by adding questions. So by default you have one question here already, so you need to customize it. So we'll say question 1, and we'll say of course for most of these researches you're not going to require people to use their name, so we'll ignore the name, but we'll start with age. So you'll ask the person to fill in the age, and here is on this panel over here is where you determine the kind of answer that you want. So you have different options: multiple choice, checkboxes, drop down, short answer, paragraph, and so on. So I can choose to have let's say multiple choice, and then the first answer will be 1 to 5 years. Okay, this is too young, so maybe we'll do Okay, let's do from about 10 to 15, and then 15 to 18. Okay, now here is the thing that you need to note. If I choose multiple choice, that means that in answering this question, the person will only be able to select one of these. Okay, so they can't select more than one answer. That is important because in some cases you might require them to select more than one answer, as we shall be saying, as we shall be seeing. So if we are happy with this, then we can still go ahead and add a few things. For example, you can make it compulsory to answer this question. So now it's required. What that means is that the person will not be able to proceed and submit this form until they've answered this question. And we'll leave this here for now. But if you want to duplicate this same section, not section per se, but this same area, you can do the same and probably just change. Why you would want to duplicate is you want to retain these settings without you having to set them up again. So let me duplicate so you can see. So now I'll say the next one is birth date, birthday. Okay, so birthday, what I require is a date here. So I come here and choose date. Okay, so it will ask me, it will give me these options, month, day, and year. I'm happy with that. Okay, and it's also required. So if I don't want to duplicate this, then I can add a question using this panel over here. So by clicking on the plus sign, I'll be able to add a question. So question 3 will then say level of education. Okay, so you ask them to choose the level of education. Let's say primary school and secondary school. Okay, so you want them to choose only one. Again, so we'll leave this as multiple choice. And we'll make this required as well. So we'll move on to the next question. We'll add the 4th question. And in that question, we'll ask them to tell us which media do you access? Question. Okay, now we want them to be able to select more than one option. So we'll say check boxes. Now Google is a little bit intelligent. Of course, it's AI and all that. So once it saw which, then it changed this to check boxes for me. But yes, so I'll agree with that and go to check boxes. So the first one is, let's say, TV. The next option is radio, and I'll make the third one online. Okay, someone else might have something else, or let's say the other one, all the above. But just in case somebody finds that none of these answers is satisfactory to them, we can give them the option of other. I'm sure you're familiar with that on questionnaires that you've answered. So other, that means that they'll be able to type in their answer. So we'll also make this required. Okay, so we'll go on to the next one, the next question, and we'll say, how do you access this media or this media? Okay, so the first question is, oh, I'll need to make this checkbox because I'll need more than one answer. I can guide them here and say, choose all that apply. Okay, So option 1 will be online. No, not online. Say TV, on TV, on radio, on a laptop, on a PC, okay, on a smartphone, all the above, and other. Okay, so checkboxes is selected. We want this compulsory as well. So let's assume that this is it for you and you're happy with your questionnaire. So you're happy with the questions, you're ready to send them out. Good. Now, there are a few things that you can do to kind of just spruce up the questionnaire. For example, you can add an image up here. So you click on that icon. So you can choose an image if you have one on Drive. Otherwise, you can do a Google image search. So we'll go and find something on media habits, see what comes up. Okay, good. So we can choose any of these. Okay, select it, then insert. Okay, so we'll leave it there. That's our image. You can also add images to your questions for whatever reason that you might need one. So let's say you need to put an icon maybe. Okay, for whatever reason, let's say, let's just say that, insert. Good, so it goes there. Okay, you can do the same here if you're interested in that. I won't dwell too much on that, but you can also add video, just like we've added an image. So this is how to set up your Google form. In the subsequent videos, we'll be looking at how to create sections and then how to share or send out your forms once you're done. But before we do that, we can customize our theme by using this option over here. So we can choose a header image which will go up there. So you can choose a header image. Again, as I said, you can either choose from the theme or you can go to photos if you have one, or you can upload if you have one, and so on. So let's just say we are happy with using what we have here. So we'll click and choose one of these and insert. Okay, so that will be your theme header over there. You can also choose the color there, that, okay, you can see, and so on, really. So this is how to set up the form basically.